This question comes from Alex, who asks, what would actually happen if a magnitude 15 earthquake hit New York City? Short answer, New York City wouldn't exist anymore. Neither would the planet. But let's back up. The earthquake scale has no upper limit. Most people assume 10 is the ceiling. It isn't. It's just that by the time you reach 10, things are already catastrophically, irreversibly wrong. A magnitude 9 earthquake physically changes the rotation of the Earth. The 2011 Tohoku quake moved the entire island of Japan 2.4 meters sideways. It also shortened the length of the day by a measurable amount. A magnitude 10 requires a fault line 3,500 kilometers long. That's longer than the entire west coast of the Americas. Magnitude 11 means a fault halfway around the planet. Magnitude 12 doesn't meaningfully exist on Earth.
And magnitude 15? That's 1,000,000 times more powerful than magnitude 11. Enough energy to boil every ocean on Earth. Every drop, every sea, gone. At that point, calling it an earthquake is very generous. The crust doesn't crack. It disintegrates. Tectonic plates don't shift. They liquefy. The ground beneath New York doesn't shake. It ceases to be ground.
The shockwave alone would circle the globe dozens of times. Buildings wouldn't collapse. They'd be stripped from the surface like paint off a wall in a sandstorm. The bedrock Manhattan sits on, the same rock that made skyscrapers possible in the first place, fractures into fragments and gets hurled skyward. The atmosphere takes the hit next. A shockwave of this magnitude punching through the crust launches debris into the upper atmosphere. Dust and rock particles blot out the sun globally within days. If the oceans weren't already gone, the tsunamis would be measured in kilometers, not meters.
But the oceans are gone, remember? Now, here's where it gets strange. The energy released by a magnitude 15 earthquake is roughly comparable to the total energy output of the sun over several seconds, focused entirely into one planet. That planet can't absorb that energy. It has nowhere to put it. The result isn't a disaster. It's a phase change. The Earth transitions from a solid rocky planet to an expanding cloud of superheated vapor and molten debris drifting through space.
Geologists have a term for the amount of energy needed to completely destroy a planet. It's called gravitational binding energy. For Earth, that number is approximately 2.5 times 10 to the 32nd joules. A magnitude 18 earthquake reaches that threshold. Magnitude 15 falls short. But close enough that the distinction stops mattering. For anyone. Anywhere. So what's left? A debris field, slowly cooling, orbiting the sun where Earth used to be. Some fragments large enough to have their own gravity. Most not. Over millions of years, some might clump back together. Most won't.
Alex wanted to know what happens to New York City, the eastern seaboard, every continent, every ocean. All of it becomes a thin, hot ring of rocks drifting silently through space. On the bright side, no more traffic on the I-95. That was a magnitude 15 earthquake. Alex asked a simple question. The answer destroyed the planet. These are the questions worth asking. The ones that start with a number on a scale and end somewhere in space. If you want more questions like this, subscribe. New video every week. Same unreasonable questions, same surprisingly real answers. See you in the next one.